Okay, so this is working again. Haven't totally lost my ability to do this. I really need to set a noise gate on this microphone. Let me see if I can figure out how to do that thing. Right. Does this work? Seems to. That's cool. Now the real question is, will it work with the fan? Spoiler. No, it won't. Okay, well, I'll have to survive. Anyway. Hopefully there will be less background buzz this time. Okay. So if memory serves, we had something in orbit. Ew. Well, best get it home. Alright. Let's figure out where to do our deorbit. I like the Atlantic. The Atlantic's nice. Let's deorbit into the Atlantic. That's probably too much. Yeah. Oh, we probably don't need more than about 80 meters per second. 100 and something maybe. What does that do to our periapsis? Can get a little lower than that. That seems more like it. We're doing a lifting reentry anyway, so fairly low periapsis is fine. Whoops, why did it just... Oh, shoot, because my throttle is... One of these days, I will set up a config such that my throttle doesn't do that. Let's see if that works correctly. We'll probably still go for deorbit burn. Mm-hmm. That's a prettier picture. Let's get that out of the way. Doing this on manual just with some guidance from the maneuver node because I don't care about that much precision. I want about 30 kilometers. This thing has such a low thrust weight ratio. We'll clean it up on RCS. Okay, now we ride it in. And there's the continental United States, I believe. Oh dear. Well, we'll probably still be in the Atlantic. Is that? Yeah, we're pretty far out. Alright, I did my deorbit burn way too late. Should have done it earlier. So, alright, 140 kilometers. Let's ditch service module and reorient for reentry. And we've armed our chute and turned on our RCS. Let MechJeb reorient us. That's wasting RCS fuel and how, but whatever. Sorry, I forgot to close Steam again. Alright. Oh, and descent mode, did I turn that on? Probably not. Heh. Yeah, that would do it. That would do it, wouldn't it? Get rid of that. Things over a little bit. And down we go. Gonna have to flip right when we hit, not do a skip because I don't want to get too close to Africa. We're probably already gonna be too close to Africa, but it is what it is. Yeah, it's Canaries. There's Cano. Oh no, there's the Canaries. So that's, what is that? It's Track Santa Maria. Alright, well, we'll see. We're just about the Kármán line. Our descent rate is slowing. It's getting dark. And there goes the service module, somewhere around here. Burning up. Splitting off. Amazing, the power of lift. It's all the way down there despite us releasing it with a slight upwards velocity relative to us. 85 kilometers. This is armed, yeah, it's armed. Alright. What's our good old heat shield doing? Just fine, I think. Hasn't even lost anything yet. Alright, I'm going to prep that so I can execute right when we hit, I don't know, probably 30 meters per second down velocity. And yeah, there's Ken. Alright, so we want to roll to the right, I think. Is that right? No, we want to roll to the left. Because we're going retrograde, of course. So we'll slowly increase our inclination. So that we can hopefully, if we have to land in the Gulf of Nigeria rather than on Africa. Careful about the sink rate, though. So I'm going to pull us back so we're getting some lift, decrease the sink rate, but still increase our inclination some. Let's hope we get lucky. Guess we're over the Sahara now. Let's roll a little steeper. I don't know. We might we might be hitting land this time. It's got to decrease that sink rate. As do I use a special sink rate, or depends on the mass of the vessel and velocity? Wait, it doesn't actually depend on the mass of the vessel at all, or I mean, it kind of depends on the velocity. It's mostly just basically the deeper in the atmosphere you go, the more dangerous a high sink rate is, because it means it's going to chuck you into really dense atmosphere where you'll suffer high G's and high heat load quickly. The lower your sink rate, the longer you'll stay up high, where you can do a lot of re-radiation. I mean, there are times that you actually want to get down there fast. In my particular case, in this re-entry, I'm also being careful because I want to try to extend out the trajectory so I don't end up over mainland Africa. But I think I've already failed that one. Yeah, we're already down to only Mach 10, or Mach 9 actually. So, yeah, we've done most of our re-entry. Hitting 2 Gs. Yeah, see, the sink rate is increasing. We're still 46 kilometers up. Mach 8. So the Gs are going to go up a little bit. But I mean, another reason, yeah, because, yeah, you want a fairly gentle re-entry, all things considered. It looks like we're going to hit the desert, which is not what I desired, but we'll survive. Barely hypersonic. And it is, of course, now pitch black. What was our peak G so far? 2.6 Gs. Pretty gentle. Mach 4. That's pretty gentle. It's pretty gentle indeed. All right. That's any better. Still messing with the gate. Let's see if that's any better. It's keeping it open even with just the air noise. Oh well. I guess the fan is actually producing almost as much noise as I do when I speak, so I better turn it off again. Sorry, it's somewhat hot here despite the air conditioning. Expect it, but it's somewhat hot. Good kilometer above sea level. Not the best. Still flying at near Mach 7. So like we're actually kind of flying, which is kind of funky. But yeah. Alright, I guess we can turn this off now. Chute should pop pretty soon. I think they're set to like 4 kilometers actually. Yeah. Yeah, 4.2, 4.3, 4.5, something like that. Drogue goes full. Takes us down quite a bit. And pop the mains. And now we wait the last kilometer. Kind of boring, but it gets everybody back home. This is going to take a while. Let's see if we can speed it up a little bit. Yeah, and unlike water where I added code to handle with warping when you hit it, I don't think I want to hit land while warping. Go right back down to nothingness. Or 1x, which is not nothing. And there we are. Okay. And let's warp to morning, because I don't like launching into darkness. Right. What to do? What to do? What would be fun? I don't want to bother with getting my joystick out, so I don't think I want to space planes. Huh. What if I made a Twin Titan? I'm thinking basically 2 LR105s for the second stage and 4 LR79s for the first stage. So what do we... put some lead ballast on. You know what, actually... I'm going to load something to start with, so I don't have to make the whole thing. X-Shadow X suggests an asymmetrical rocket. That would be interesting. They look ugly, though. Sorry. They really kind of look pretty ugly. Side mount is weird, man. Side mount is weird. Where's the avionics? Oh, it's down at the base of that stage, I guess. Probably. So I'm going to assume that we need a a 10-foot core and probably a 12 or even 15-foot, actually a 12 or 15-foot first stage and a 10-foot second stage. So basically half a Saturn 1, so probably something like 8 tons will be about right. So, I mean, Merlins are an RO, so we could do Falcon Heavy to the moon. Oh, heh, heh, little baby retros. Heh. Let us acquire those little baby retros. No, I'm set on snap, apparently. It's unsnap. Alright. And we're going to want more retros than that, that's for sure. Actually 3 is probably fine. I don't think we want a ton of retros. So alright, I can turn off my noise gate, guys, if that's a problem. Is this any better? And And yes, it was, the noise gate was supposed to turn the mic off from inactivity so you don't get a background hum. But if that's bothering people, we can have a background hum. I don't care. Where's my guidance? That confuses me. Ah. It must be... No? Ah, it was hidden. So now I have to do this again, because it was hidden. We want something like that, and this goes up to 3.05. I can barely hear anything. Turn up the background audio. And so we need 2 of these fine engines. Do I have a, oh, I did have a Vernier here. Do I actually want, I mean, technically, if I were really designing this and cared, I would have, I would keep the Verniers, because you'd want to cut out the main engines and then finish insertion on Verniers to have fine control over the final orbit, but I don't think we care that much about the final orbit. So I'll take the Verniers off for now. Definitely going to want more than just 4 ullage motors. Let's try with 6. And 2 of these puppies. They won't fit on a 10-foot stage because of those stupid rings. So I guess we're going to 12-foot. Hey, Thason. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Sorry if I'm not. I said 12-foot. That's what, 3.66. Okay. And this goes up to probably 3.4, and this goes up to 3.66. Okay. Oops, that's too fat. Let's try that. There we are. Yeah, no, it's been a while, but I'm trying. As I said last night, the Bellevue Library had this thing where they had kids play KSP, and it kind of got me back into it a bit. So that was cool. Get rid of those struts. All right. Now, how heavy is this whole contraption? 69 tons. And this guidance ring. What guidance ring, pray tell, is it? That's a tank. That's also a tank. So where's the darn ring? There it is. 120 tons. So that's fine. Alright. Now I wonder if we can get away. Oh, I wish we could right click on. But used to be we could right click on stuff that wasn't you know, wasn't attached, but we can't anymore. 3.66, 3.66. Let me see if there's any guidance on this thing. Don't see any that way. Probably not. I think that was probably the only guidance ring I had. Yeah. Alright, so put another one down here, I think. And let's double up these. But I might have to go to 15 foot on this, actually, to fit all the engines in. Huh, that's tight, but it'll work. The real question is... Oh, I have to change the bottom too. Forgot. Need to save it so I don't lose it. How heavy are we right now? Not that heavy. Interesting. Top 3.66. And how... That's 600 millimeters. So 600 millimeters. All right. So this gets a tank stretch. To our standard 2-minute 45, and yet it's got way too much upper for that. Let's do a common bulkhead. With a... Huh. Wow. Alright. I guess we... Oh, what kind of engines are these anyway? Are they the base? Yes, they are indeed the base. Which means these are also probably the base LR79s. They are. That's fine. What payload? I'm just a mass simulator payload. I'm not actually shooting anything real. Just seeing what I can do, really. Insufficient avionics. Yes, I'm aware. What can I do here? well, and we also need to lower this down to something like 230. All right. And this is way too much payload. So So 145 kilos. Nope, still not. Yeah. No, I like this one better. Okay. That's what I thought. Tank dome, put the top one on, and bottom dome, put that on. Then this dome gets the lower, this gets the lower. Alright, and did I bother to put a... No, I did not put a bottom dome on. Still too heavy. Probably something like that. Which means we really need to stretch this stage a bit. I think basically what we're running into is that it really needs to have 5 of those things on the first stage to really take use of 2 LR105s on the second stage. So really what I'm making instead of a double Titan, it turns out, is a serial stage R7. But then I've already made that before. I made that for my US playthrough way back when, with 5 LR79s, I think. But it just, it makes sense. All right, let's, what we can do though is uprate to, like, 1960 level, which I think is this. I trust that those ratios are not changed, but they probably are, so I have to redo this. No, that didn't change. I think that may have changed though. Yeah. All right, let's stretch the first stage to something reasonable. All right, and we need a little more avionics, apparently, which I find over here. So let's, we'll just use, instead of having 2 sets, we might be able to do slightly better if we had 1 set of avionics for each stage, but this is certainly going to be cheaper. How are we doing? 94.78 and a decent thrust weight ratio. Alright, it's just second stage. What this is telling me is that we really should have a third stage. And we should lower the burn time on this a little bit. So let's increase this. I'm going to guess, based on the time to orbit, that we're going to need about 9,200 meters per second. Although that liftoff thrust weight ratio is kind of low. So we're at 5.35 tons to low Earth orbit. Let's check staging. That all makes sense. That all makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. All right, let's see how it performs. It's a decent looking rocket, all things told. I generally prefer a longer burning second stage, and certainly a longer burning first stage. But this is Merca style. Very Merca. Taste the freedom. Dawn lunch. Okay, so that's right, that's wrong. That's probably right. And I want keep throttle over 5%, because otherwise things will end badly. So here we go. Slow off the pad. Definitely a bit slow off the pad. Why is it not? Why are we not getting audio from the game? That's weird. Can anybody hear audio from the game? 'Cause I can't. Oh, I think I know what's wrong. Stupid. I think I know what's wrong. Let me see if I can fix it. Yes, that fixed it. Sorry about that. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Apparently OBS had bound to an audio device that was no longer plugged in, because I don't know why. See if I guessed the launch profile broadly correctly. It's funny, it really does kind of look like an upscaled Titan even, because that's broadly what it is. Alright, passing the 45-degree line at about 800 meters per second. No, Mr. Bond. Triton is an excellent name, excepting the whole 3 thing. Can we think of a Greek or Roman deity that was connected to 4? And burnout. Haulage. Ignition. Looking good. Oh, I should have over-provisioned locks just a bit to account for boil-off. That would have been smart. I can tune that. I don't really care about the first stage, but the second stage I should really care about. How's our roll? Our roll's at 0. Nice. Dynamic pressure is still 20 kilopascals. Right, because we had the... Right, because it was a fairly low amount of delta V on the first stage, and it was a short burn time, so that's why we're waiting a while to jettison fairings after second stage ignition. Yes, this is not like solid speedy, but it's still pretty speedy. And it's certainly speedy by the standards of the rockets that I tend to build. Alright, under 2 kilopascals, let's ditch the fairings. Ooh, yeah. Could do Helios. Yeah, because the 4 horses. Right on. Oh, ha ha ha. My apogee is crazy low. That was stupid. We're not that was bad. I'm going to have to actually pitch up a fair amount now, because I wasn't paying attention. So I guess I was a little optimistic in terms of trajectory. Yes, mad props to Alcid Prime for figuring that one out, for suggesting Helios. Alright, so we're going to a really low orbit, apparently. A much lower orbit than I had planned. Hey Phineas, long time no see indeed. So this orbit is... This is a hilariously low orbit. We're not even actually out of where KSP models the atmosphere for this orbit. So I'm going to have to launch again and see how that goes. But hey, we'll have low gravity losses, that's for sure. Alright, so let's pitch down again. And now we'll pitch level, because we're going to have to pitch down at some point if we don't want to insert before apogee. Alright, now we got to pitch down. Now we got to pitch down a lot. A whole lot. So that was a fair amount of extra delta V. Expended 9057. Gravity losses were good. Steering losses were not the best, but whatevs. Alright, so that... I wouldn't want to push the margins much tighter than that. How much liquid oxygen? Oh, that's intriguing. Where's our... so we have 22 liters of kerosene spare. So we're pretty close to bang on. Just ditch that, and it has enough retros to at least get in a different orbit. So yeah, that's, I actually guessed just about right on payload. Probably could take maybe another 50 to 100 kilos, but that would be really pushing it. So, didn't Apollo also have 4 horses? Because, I mean, he sort of crossed with Helios anyway. Alright, so this is actually a reasonably successful launch vehicle. I feel so guilty not having a longer burn time on that upper stage. Although it's already doing most of the work. We really have an underpowered lower stage for this launch vehicle. But it's very definitely an American competitor to the R7, given that it can take about 5.4 tons to orbit. So, interesting. Interesting. And that's even after uprating it some. I mean, the original was bad. It would have like a 2-minute. Yeah, let's see the best we can do without the uprated engines. Probably only something like 2.5, 3 tons. It's gonna be bad. Probably need a 2-minute burn time on the first stage too. Yeah. All right, so let's shrink this on down a little bit. So we're going very Titan with a 3-minute upper. And this gets, wonder why the center mass turned on. Because RCS build aid, there's something that trips RCS build aid, I don't know why. Oh, it's because I go into action groups and I think that trips it for some reason. I think we need 2-minute 20 maybe? Oh, we can just get, nah, no. 2-minute 25 is about the best we can do. However, it's a shorter time to orbit, which means we can 90, I had like, what, 9,200 about? So let's go with that, which I think is going to be broadly correct. And that's 3 point, all right, so 3.5 tons. See you, Fenice. Have a good one. All right. This is definitely going to fly like Titan 1, because it's basically just Titan 1 times 2. What about using Titan-style SRBs with it? That would sort of defeat the purpose of like really early stuff, but we could certainly extend the core a lot with higher lift-off thrust. That's for sure. See how this works. Actually, I guess I'll leave it on 120, given what happened last time. But again, we definitely have to go for 150 kilometer perigee, because there's just no way we'll get higher than 150 kilometers. Oops, that was stupid of me. I changed the wrong thing. Nice to hear that rumble again. I haven't heard that rumble in a long time. Plop that back to on. Let's follow prograde, I guess. Maybe. We'll see what happens. Man, staging at 60 kilometers. Yes, no, Mr. Bond is exactly correct. The best and worst thing about MechJeb is it does exactly what you tell it to, just like a computer. And boy, does that cause me problems sometimes. Let's see. I want to try to stick fairly close to the velocity vector without making our time to... Nope, gotta pitch down. Fairing sep. Gotta manage time to apogee correctly. Because we're not going down at 1 second per second anymore. That's for sure. I gotta pitch up to raise our apogee a little bit, and then pitch down again once we get close. Because we need to be over 140, and we ain't. We're already going to have to pitch down at the end. We're not even going to make 150 this time. Come on, come on. What just happened? Oh, I unchecked the wrong thing. MechJeb does indeed do exactly what you tell it to. Well, means I got to try it again. No, Mr. Bond did try to warn me, but yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Where did MechJeb go? It's back now. That was weird. Was I going to fix anything here? Nope. No, we're just screwed with a a rocket that is not designed to do what we want it to, which makes launching to orbit hard. I think I'm actually going to change this. Like that. And we'll see how that goes. Limit acceleration is off this time. That's good. Cloud bank. Okey-doke. So pretty. Kind of don't understand how people play stock KSP with stock graphics anymore, but look at how pretty the real stuff is. Well, the realer stuff. Commence massive pitch down. 8 seconds. Burnout. And second stage light. Alright, we're much, much higher, such that our dynamic pressure is at almost nothing. So we can drop the fairings now. We're going to have probably higher gravity losses and higher steering losses from launching to that trajectory, but it will at least get us to an orbit with a... Oh yeah, Shadow X did just make the point about how can anybody play stock KSP. This does let us, I think, launch to an orbit with a reasonable perigee, instead of that totally unreasonable one. Yeah, I think this is going to end up with a 150 by something orbit, assuming we have enough delta V, which we should. Naive calculation says we should come up about 50 to 100 meters per second extra, but we'll see. It's our pitch. Our pitch is 0. That makes sense. I guess I want to pitch up a little bit, because I think we're getting a little close to the wire here. Pitch back down just a hair. Come level again, and we should hit just about right. Or not. Nope, I was wrong. Alright, 222 by 147. That's not quite what they would do for Mercury or Gemini, but pretty close. So we're about maybe 10 meters per second short of where we want to be. Gravity loss is a little higher because we had to do that loft, but it did work okay. Oh, hey, Egg. Yes, Egg. There is a distinct lack of Principia because this is literally my RO install from 9 months ago, because that's what I had. But anywho, we have now placed a shockingly large mass for the time of just shy of 3.5 tons into low Earth orbit. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, it's decent. Not the worst thing in the world. Oh, I wonder about my microphone. Let me just check this. Mic auxiliary audio device is set to default, which is correct, I think. So that should be fine. So yeah, it is actually capturing the microphone correctly. Ah, there's a new Principia release coming. That's cool. Alright, so it nearing midnight. In fact, 4 minutes shy. I think I should probably call it quits. But that was nice to get back into the swing of things and also prove that, you know, once is happenstance, but twice is slightly less likely to be happenstance. So yeah, I will see you guys again soon. Right. Bye-bye.